But the animatronics that are there are so minimal and they are lame. Really lame. It's like one dog barking. I don't count that.
One buffalo standing.
Yeah,
That's a
I don't count
buffalo
that.
stance.
One
So
cock
I'm saying
crowing.
the things that are there are essentially mannequin trash and they need to go. And we should revamp it.
Wow.
Put Mickey and Minnie and all their friends in there learning about healthy eating and growing your own garden. I think that would be super good.
I think we have a new term, mannequin trash.
Mannequin trash.
Nonsense on a napkin and mannequin trash.
Mannequin trash.
Yeah.
Zippity-doo-dah, this is Bear Rabbit, and I gotta tell you, I find a great laughing place listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Rachel. Zippity-doo-dah!
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast. They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libations.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs and not artistic cream puffs. This is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. In this episode, we discuss which Disney attractions would benefit from adding audio animatronics to them. And look, this isn't your typical polish, practice, pixie dust, and Disney podcast. No way. We are not in Disneyland every day buying up all the Death Star popcorn buckets and reselling them on eBay.
Good Lord.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to drink, talk some Disney, and tell you that the sun will not explode tomorrow. It'll come out.
No,
It will.
That's beautiful, man.
Isn't it?
It is.
it is.
And
That's for one lucky little boy out there. Does he listen?
he should listen.
This is a
Sam,
coast-to-coast dedication.
He should
No,
listen.
to be honest, we are an adult-oriented podcast, so I don't typically have my children listen.
Oh.
I do sometimes. Sometimes I do, but not every time.
He can listen to the beginning of this one.
Well, have him listen
He
to the beginning of that.
I
one.
will. I'll let him know. This is for listeners out there. This is my son has made a very creative way to get out of bedtime. And that is every night he comes down and tells us that he's very afraid the sun is going to explode. And I just don't really know how to respond to that. So if anybody has suggestions, usually my response is something like, that's crazy.
Go to bed, boy.
Probably doesn't
Crazy. Crazy. What that is? What? Oh, my God.
But we did that tonight. That's why we're recording late this evening because my son got up 3 times and told me that the sun was going to explode.
Well, technically, he's right. It will at some point.
eventually.
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
it's a series of constant explosions with the gases and everything.
Yeah, but
Sure.
tell him he need to
Sure.
worry about taxes first before.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so worried. We have like not that long left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
There
about
you
a week or so.
That'll keep you up at night. Sorry about
Yeah,
that, listeners. But past that, though, listeners, you guys have the easy part. All you guys have to do is to listen up to what we think up while we drink up.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Rachel.
And look, these ways to support us to book your next vacation with Rachel, of course. And also you can leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and or where you access our show. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. Also, we want to thank our Patreon supporters for all that they do for us. And before we get into it, just a little bit of jibber-jabber. Just want to say, because this is the weekend we're recording, Epic Universe has the media stuff happening. All the influencers are releasing all the videos. Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff happening over
Information
there.
overload, man.
Yeah, big time. Any kind of walkthroughs, videos, and stuff that you could see. And I'm excited to check it out.
I am excited too.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an adventure. So we got to figure out how to pull that off. That's got to be pulled off.
Yeah, we'll look into it, man. Maybe we'll look figure out a trip or sometime in the very near future.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that.
All right, y'all. So enough of our jibber jabber. Let's go add some audio animatronics to some attractions. Welcome to the Hub, the big topic segment of our show. And for this Hub, as I mentioned in the intro, we want to explore the question posed by Danny to us: which Disney attraction would benefit from added animatronic figures? How about that?
Yes.
Very simple question. It's a very good question, I think,
Absolutely.
because there's a lot of things that could benefit. But each of us picked an attraction of sorts.
Yes.
That we'll present on this particular show. And of course, we'd love to hear y'all's ideas of what would benefit from added animatronics. Get in touch with us, show at magicory.com, or any of the million ways you can get in touch with us and let us know what you think would be good. Or if there's something that we were mentioning tonight that maybe we missed something that could be done, let us know. Not a full-blown armchair imagineering segment. This is more like ideation kind of thing. This is like pre-planning. It's like if we're to add more animatronics, this is kind of what we're thinking of. So it's not like our regular full armchair imagineering type show, but just like initial discussions of it, so to speak. Yeah.
Because all these rides have all been built.
Yeah. They're already built.
We're just plussing them.
We're plussing them.
Plussing it. Yeah.
So, Danny, I think since this is your question, I feel like you should have the honors of going first and let us know what you think.
Absolutely. So I'm a little bit worried I'm going to tick off one of my fellow co-hosts here, and that is totally not my intention. I just want to be clear. I do like Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I like it.
Let's say Rachel's smiling.
I just don't love
My favorite.
I know it is. And it's hard to tell you. That's why I asked you if you wanted to sit out the show.
That's your favorite, but you don't love it? Like, come on.
I don't love it at all. The story is weak, and it's way too reliant on screens. And it's just, there's little to no practical effects whatsoever. So like when I've ridden it, I don't necessarily feel like I'm on an adventure with the Guardians of the Galaxy as much as I feel like I'm riding a more intense version of Space Mountain. And the whole idea of wanting to experience the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction in the first place should be that you want to feel like you're having an experience with the Guardians. And if I feel like I'm just watching a movie on a big screen, well, I could do that at home. I've got a pretty big screen. I mean, maybe not Disney big screen, but I could watch the Guardians on a big screen at home. And especially if I'm just catching brief glimpses of their spaceship as I'm zipping around corners as they're fighting some unknown celestial, and I'm trying in vain to pay attention to what's happening around me.
Well, Danny, I think we can make her couch go 60 miles per hour.
Okay.
In some weird way.
Can you spin it? And
I think we can figure that out.
We get
And
some
backwards.
young people for that.
Just put the little quarter dispenser right now. Just put the quarters in and boom.
We'll get Siri to play the track as it happens.
Yeah. So anyway, all I'm saying is it wasn't the Guardians experience that I was looking for. Like the droids. One of the droids I'm looking for is not the Guardians experience I was looking for. I want to feel like I'm in the same room as the Guardians. Like if I could just get off my ride vehicle, if I could just exit my ride vehicle, I could walk over and hug Zoe Saldana. Kind of like
I feel that.
Yeah. Like if you were in a haunted mansion, you just feel like if you got up out of that, there's nothing on the other side of some of them doors, but you just feel like if you got over there, you could touch the door, like it's there.
It's definitely there, yeah.
Yeah.
There's breathing too.
So to make that happen, I think that you have to blend the large screens with some highly detailed, immersive sets where it's difficult to tell the real from the projected. And yes, in this case, I do believe animatronics would help. I love the pre-show. I'm a big fan of that. I love how they transport you onto the NovaCore ship, but it's a little weird that when you get there, there's absolutely no one there to greet you. Like you're still being spoken to by Terry Crews on the screen. Like, I don't know if it's like Spaceballs where if Terry Crews took the time to walk over to say hello, the attraction would be over by then. But it just couldn't we at least have some animatronic NovaCore around just so it looks like you show up and there's nobody there to greet you, like the Star Destroyer with the stormtroopers.
Yeah, kind of like Rise. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That is pretty nice.
That'd be pretty intense.
And then once you set foot on the ride, it's nothing but stars and screens. That's really what you're looking at. And what little story there is basically drowned out by the loud music, the spinning, the screens. And it's kind of why I think Gringotts is a better attraction. Not necessarily a better roller coaster, but a better overall attraction because Cosmic Rewind works as it works well as a high thrill roller coaster, but I expect more out of Disney than just high thrills. You know, like I want storytelling. That's the whole idea of going to Disney. If I wanted nothing but thrills and being jerked around, I can go to Six Flags for that. I want some cool visuals as well.
Yeah, Cedar Point's got that.
That's fair, because
Yeah.
Mission Breakout tells a better Guardian story in essence.
Yeah. And not for nothing, like they don't even try to make the ride make sense in any way, shape, or form. I mean, everything is moving so fast, you don't know what's really going on. You don't really know how the Guardians saved the day unless you've really ridden it quite a few times. Maybe watch a YouTube video. Hell, you're not even sure about when this ride takes place because it can't be after the very first Guardians of the Galaxy because Groot's a baby. Can't be after the second Guardians of the Galaxy because Groot's a teenager. And Mantis is now part of the team, and it certainly can't have to be after the third one because they all go their separate ways. So it's almost like it just exists outside of the Guardians lore, like it's its own thing.
You know what's funny is I know you're gonna keep doing your thing, but I remember when we first rode this ride, we were having like a similar debate because it was like it was fun to do it the first time and like have that expectation. But you were literally saying like, yeah, but where was the story? I was spun around, it was dark, I didn't see anything. Like, well, yeah, I got nothing to say to that. Let's drink.
But it's a great ride.
It's a great ride, absolutely.
It's just not the Guardians experience. And again, I think that they could take this and make it a complete home run and arguably the best ride in the park if they just added something to it. And they have the technology. You can turn the ride in any direction 360, but instead it's a thrill ride. You can't really pay attention to what's going on. So it'd be nice if instead of maybe spinning around a moon, we actually spun around a huge animatronic celestial, kind of like the King Kong, the old King Kong confrontation. Maybe he reaches out at you or something like that. And since the Guardians are out there in their ship, it would be nice if there was a scene where you kind of come face to face with the ship and you could see the animatronics on the ship. You could even have Star-Lord in his helmet if you wanted to, zooming around outer space.
You could do that.
Oh, right along with the car.
Right along with the car, exactly.
Rocket could do it
Keeping us informed on what we need to be doing while Rocket's steering the Milano. Which, by the way, I love. I love that ship is named after Alyssa Milano. My favorite actress ever. Alyssa Milano is my goddess.
That's for you.
Yes. But how about at least doing what the concept art indicated and having an animatronic version of Groot and Rocket back on Xandar who greet you when you arrive and kind of brief you on your mission. Because that's what was promised in the concept art, is that you would have them.
That's true.
Yeah. It got budgeted out, apparently.
All that would be good, but I gotta say, I'd rather scrap that story altogether and lose the Cosmic Rewind name and instead call it Guardians of the Galaxy Road to Nowhere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And on this attraction, you can still do the race through space, except since it's its own thing and it exists outside of the MCU, apparently. Why not bring back Ronan, who I think is one of the best villains they've ever had, that gets no like real love because of Thanos and all the cool villains that have come along since then. But I thought he was very intimidating as far as a villain go. You can have where Nova Corps has enlisted the help of the Guardians to stop Ronan from obtaining the Power Stone. And where is this all happening at? Well, of course, it's happening on Nowhere, because that would be the one Guardians place that you really want to go visit, right?
Yeah.
That's where it all gets thrown down at. Yeah.
It's either that or Xandar, but I think for a ship, like a ride through space, Nowhere would be the better choice.
The best look.
And so you could still have your traveling through space and you get through that jump point, but instead of like where you're just seeing nothing but, stars and endless space, your ride is fast approaching a giant floating celestial head that you then enter. And then there's these large buildings everywhere representing the mining operation that they set up over there. And you get there and boom, your vehicle slows down. And then they give you a little bit of a story where the Guardians can arrive via screen. But because you have so many practical effects around you, it blends in a little bit more seamlessly. And kind of like what they do with Harry Potter, where the actor comes out, but it's a physical set, or Tom Holland on Web Slingers.
Yeah.
Where you get to,
Yeah.
that would work a whole lot better. And so you blend in the actual physical set of Nowhere instead of just having the endless spacing. They have the stone, and just then a Ronin animatronic breaks open the wall, a la Kylo Ren kind of, and the way that happens, warning the Guardians if they don't hand over the stone, he's going to destroy their friends, meaning us, the riders. And as he's pointing his hammer and it starts to light up, they're like, we need to get these people out of here. And then boom, you rocket off and then you're zooming around. And right alongside of you, you could find what you call it. You could intersperse between an animatronic and a real, what you call it, projection of Star-Lord, because you can keep that helmet on him the entire time. So you don't have to be like, oh, his mouth isn't really. Yeah, exactly. So that would work great. You could have him talking to you. You could zip around the corner. There you're having a confrontation with Ronan, and you've got an animatronic Gamora doing a sword fighting thing, kind of like they do with the animatronic Pirates of the Caribbean in France.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of neat.
Love to see that. I'd love to see, an animatronic Rocket. I think that just begs for an animatronic.
Absolutely.
I mean, he looks great over in Mission Breakout. So I would like to see something like that. I think that would make Guardians better, but that's just me going off my own tangent. I would be comfortable with just like I said before, if they just took the existing ride and had Rocket and Groot there when you got to Xandar. That in and of itself would be cool. Animatronic Celestial, just so you get a sense of how large they are. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I think that would really, you need physical sets. I think that helps.
Can we have a post-show dance-off against Ronan?
Oh, that would be nice.
That's how we defeat Ronan?
At the end of, yeah.
Everybody's got a line dance in perfect sync in order to win.
Like Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, we're doing electric slide.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So that's my ride that would benefit from added animatronics.
I think that's cool. It gets that animatronic. We can have an animatronic Sly Stallone in there. I think to put that over the top.
Oh yeah, why not?
Slice.
So what do you think, Rachel? Was that gentle? Was that fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I like your ideas. I think they could also just easily add animatronics at the end of the ride, and that would be enough to make it a little better. That would be enough of a plus to kind of check a box at least.
Right.
Yeah.
For example, Eli was saying he thought that Mission Breakout tells a Guardian story a little bit better. I agree about the story for sure. And I think part of that is that really cool Rocket animatronic at the pre-show. And that's the only animatronic on the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one animatronic really does make a difference. So maybe they would, if they, you get to the end and you see the Guardians, but it is just on a screen. If they had a animatronic kind of show in that room instead, that would be cool.
Maybe even a stronger story, right? Because it's the Mission Breakout has a much stronger story than
it does. And the story makes complete
sense. I'm trying to be low maintenance here.
Oh, I got you.
That's fair.
Budgetary.
I didn't rewrite the whole thing.
To be fair to Rachel, though, Mission Breakout has a more simpler narrative than Cosmic.
Okay, yeah.
But it would help to definitely have that animatronic Celestial, because I think that would help to kind of center it. Because when you're spinning around,
get your bearings a lot better.
Exactly.
I like your Road to Nowhere story.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Cool.
I was like, shoot. Now I feel a little sad. I don't have that.
I was like, dang, where's he going with that? Did he stop?
I think that would have been great, because then that's the place you want to experience. That's the place you want to visit. I think, like I said, the only other thing I can think of is Xandar. But I also think that if you had actual things there that you can kind of concentrate on, it would help you not have so much motion sickness when you ride it, because you could calibrate where you're at, because I think the motion sickness comes from when you're zipping around.
That's the thing.
And you lose your bearings, and you're trying desperately to look back to figure out what's going on.
Well, that's what I was going to say with the animatronic Celestial. That would really be good, is because the only thing I remember from the ride outside of the music is when he's spinning around right at the end, and the Celestial has that big chain. And the moon is cool, but I just always remember the chain, and he's like, "Wow, get off of me!" And I think if it was something where you're riding and you're flying around this thing, and then you're wrapping the chain, quote unquote, and then you're doing the action, and then you see the screen, and you're like, "Oh, we did that!" And I think that would help to anchor the story a lot.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah. I dig that too. If only they had a larger than life animatronic that would swipe at a vehicle that worked.
Oh, well, gee, we can't find that for a while, bro.
Well, talk about rides that would benefit from added animatronics.
Disco Celestial.
Can we do that an honorable mention right now? Fix the Yeti.
Yeah.
Fix the Yeti and Expedition Everest. Honorable mention.
Right.
Like that.
And then you can, that would be just a animatronic you add.
That's it.
Not
bro.
even an ad, just
honorable mention.
Hashtag Disco Celestial.
There,
we did that.
B mode Celestial.
Yeah.
Nothing but strobe.
Cosmic Yeti.
Cosmic Yeti. Yes.
All right.
Wow, that's good.
All righty. What you got, sir?
Yeah, I'm going to keep that Marvel theme going. Mine was Web Slingers. The way I feel about that is I was thinking about my first time going to that and going with Danny's like little niece, and her words it just haunted me. Just, this was not worth it. Like that's and I kind of stuck because like Spider-Man is one of my favorite characters, and I think that franchise could really anchor a lot. And that ride, although it's like, you know, it's like a shoot 'em up, there's nothing you can really do about that. But I think it needed an animatronic, a lot of animatronics to just kind of help you, one, grind you to a story, because there's not a lot happening before you do it, and then two, kind of see the effects of what's going on as you're done doing your shooting in each section, right? So I'd say
like if you were riding along and then an animatronic Spidey just kind of drops down in between and says, "You're doing great, but we need to keep going," and blah blah blah, and something like that.
Yeah, seemed like that, right? Like, and so like one thing that got me is that, all right, when you're walking in there, it's a Stark laboratory. Where's our Tony Stark? Where's our Iron Man equipment? Where's our
He doesn't do cameos anymore.
He doesn't do cameos.
He's Dr. Doom now.
He's a bad guy now, but this is before that.
Oh, it was before Doom.
I mean, yeah. So I would think that, for one, when you walk into the queue, it would definitely benefit to have like maybe some sort of extra tech, you know, maybe some Iron Man prototypes, or just, you know, machines, mechanical arms, anything like that just says this is an industrial place. And then once you can get in and you talk to, you know, Tom Holland, you know, Peter Parker, if you will, and he's talking to you, I think it would also help to have some animatronics kind of like right there by the screen to kind of look at what you're looking at, you know, so you have an audience of other student scientists, if you will, because that's the other part of it. It's a scientific experiment. I think it would benefit from that.
Animatronic guests?
No, like other students that are there, like with Peter. You know, like I was thinking like maybe, you know, like Mary J, the other kid, I forgot.
Gwen?
No, not Gwen.
You're talking about
his
the
buddy.
sorcerer guy.
Yeah.
Oh, the Filipino
Ned.
kid.
Yeah.
Ned. Yeah.
Because like they're all kind of all buddies in there. So I think like when one of them has an adventure, they all have an adventure.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with having like a guest of them as an animatronic as well.
Or kind of like, you know, how they were talking about in that South by Southwest video where Tony Stark has these animatronic, what do you call it? Arms that come in and help out. Like if he had like some kind of something like that, because you're at Stark Laboratories, maybe you could have some of those animatronic arms.
Yeah, you definitely would need something, because that's part of the MCU lore. I mean, like, it's not like Tony doesn't talk to a mechanical arm. That arm doesn't talk to him, but it makes, you know, signs and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why are we not incorporating that? Once you get past that, like, you got lockers. I'm like, well, you don't really have to put any animatronics there, but it would help to have maybe some spider bots around that, maybe like
helping you with your locker.
Well, that'd be cool too, but like a track or something, like, you know, along the wall, so it like kind of looks like it's following you, like as it's going. It's like something that just kind of gives you the impression of what you're walking into, because all of it to me is kind of like disassociated, right? And then once you do get in and you get in the little cart and stuff, let the actions kind of start to build up. Again, you can have animatronic students. I personally want a Stan Lee animatronic like scientist in there, like get a little lab or something, as opposed to like
a cameo kind of thing? Oh, that'd be neat.
I think so. Like, as opposed to like, just because they all got blank walls. Like, I looked at the video, it's like, yeah, there's nothing but blank walls until you turn around, you got to shoot stuff. Like, you can put anything up in here.
I mean, they're getting Walter's animatronic, so why not Stanley?
I think Stan should have a little love for here.
Sure.
You know,
it's his stuff.
That's his stuff. It's his stuff.
It's his stuff.
And then in certain levels, I put it like this: like in each part, you know, you start to lead up to it. But once you start getting into the action, again, kind of like what Danny said, you start knocking these spider bots out. They get bigger and badder. And so like as you finish one, you should see like a piece of a robotic leg or something like coming out of a wall. Or like, you know, a piece of the maybe like some like glowing eyes or something flickering after you've, you know, defeated one. And then like, so like how also having like animatronic of Spider-Man coming out being like, oh, you know, again, you kind of took the line, but yeah, we got it, you know, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Once you're done, there's a part you get towards the end and you fight the main bad bot and he's on a Quinjet. I'm like, well, why not right before you get to that, show mechanical arms like leading like towards that part, but holding like pieces of a jet, like a wing or like, a thigh. No, I'm just kidding.
Thigh,
Or
breast.
breast, right? Or like, a piece of the Quinjet. So you're like, oh, okay, this is the room where they assemble like this kind of thing. So then you have a better impression of where you're at each point.
It was kind of like Star Tours. We had the C-3PO R2 kind of conversation on the vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of neat.
And then again, once, Spider-Man does his thing, he brings the bad bot down. You turn the corner, you see him like, unmask or something like that. And then right when you get to the end, usually there's like these webbings and then there's like the spider bots in there. I'm thinking, well, why not have it at the end where you come around and then you have Tony in a suit, like in a normal suit, and having Tom Holland trying to explain how he just wrecked this whole dude's laboratory.
Shit.
And then, and ending it like that, I think that would be, because that's kind of like part of what they do in the movies. Like, forget the books. Like, even in the movies, they have that type of argumentative rapport. But I do miss Tony. So that's why I was like, let's have some Tony and let's have some Stan.
Tony's good.
Nice.
I like Tony's.
Yeah, I think all of those improvements for Eli's ride sound really good. I do want to be the voice of dissent in this, that I actually really like web slingers.
Really?
There's no dissent in
Dude.
that.
I'm a web slingers fan.
I've yet to go on that, so I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't been out there since that opened.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, which is odd.
Oh, Kevin, you got to do that.
Oh, I know. I want to get big food and everything.
Guys, I don't know if this podcast community has heard me like rave about this enough. I'm sure I've said it before, but there is a chocolate bar at that quick service. It's called the Choco Smash. It's a gigantic chocolate bar. It seems like handmade.
Choco Smash.
Choco Smash. It's a Hulk, like big chocolate bar.
Oh, wow.
And it's brownie and caramel and peanut butter, like creamy peanut butter, not like the hard stuff in a Reese's, although I love Reese's. I'm not hating on
I like
Reese's.
Reese's,
But this is like creamy. It's not
Ooh.
hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like
Creamy peanut butter, peanuts. It's like a Snickers, but better and huge. And it's got a brownie in it. I think I said that already, but it's worth saying twice.
It's worth saying
Anyway,
twice.
this thing is incredible. The Choco Smash. Like I love this candy bar. I look forward to it. They used to have this like marshmallow stout at the beer place right there. And so we would order a Choco Smash and split it with the family. And Josh and I would get these like marshmallow beer stouts, which sounds gross, but it was actually really good.
Wait, back up. We used to? Because I would try that.
Well, they don't have the marshmallow beer stout anymore.
Oh,
Bummer.
I would try that.
Yeah, but they have other beer there. I'm sure there's something good. Anyway, well, man, we would just sit there and watch the Avengers go by and the like Wakanda ladies. I should know their names, but I don't.
Dora Milaje.
Dora
Dora
Milaje.
Milaje.
Yeah, I did know their names. Look at that. I got it. Anyway,
You got it. We got you.
Ibumbe.
You bald-headed demon, you.
What a vibe. It had all the good vibes. Anyway, now I really want to go to Disneyland.
I want the
just
candy
sold
bar
myself.
No, look.
Oh, the
Oh
candy
my
bar
God,
sounds
that candy
great.
bar is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
that
gotta
sounds
have that.
awesome.
And the shawarma, the food at Avengers Campus is really the highlight for me.
Really?
I
gotta
The
disagree.
shawarma?
Oh,
The shawarma.
we
and
went
the
to the
you gotta
Pim's
know what to
kitchen.
order.
Yeah, we didn't know.
You gotta know what to order.
Okay.
Do you know that I've actually never ordered like food from the Pim's kitchen? The only thing I've gotten is that gigantic pretzel and the Choco Smash. And then we get shawarmas and beers.
No,
The
we had
shawarma is
Shawarmas
like in a
or beers?
cart somewhere, right? It's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe that's what we
We
just
eat
kind of.
there.
no. We had a beer from Pim's Kitchen.
You did. I had like one of the mix, and it was terrible.
Terrible. Yeah, you were like trying.
Yeah,
like,
don't do the cocktails.
It all pre-mixed. Ugh.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah.
Just do the beers. Just do the beers.
I remember because I was like, can I just get an old fashioned? Like, yeah, no, we can't do that.
Yes. Yeah.
Nah, we don't do that.
Wait, question, Rachel. Okay, so Universal's Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man or Web Slingers?
That's not okay. No one's gonna like my answer. I like web slingers better, but I'm not a Spider-Man fan. You know what I mean? Like I think people who are Spider-Man fans are gonna like the Universal ride better. But for me, because I don't have that nostalgia, my only like connection to Spider-Man is the Disney reboot of the Marvel series. Like, you know what I mean? That's my only touch point, other than like Tobey Maguire and
Andrew Garfield.
The OG.
Andrew Garfield. I saw that one too. Yeah. Other than
Second
those guys.
OG?
But,
That's my favorite.
like, I didn't read the comic books as a kid. Like, that wasn't my version of Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So like that version at Universal isn't going to speak to me the same way. I recognize that true fans would like that better. I can have respect for that, but that's not my ride.
You know, that's a fair thing. Like, who is the better Peter Parker than out of the three?
Now that we have 3.
Yeah.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
It's Tom Holland. Tom Holland's
Really?
the best Peter Parker. Oh, 100%.
All right, well, let's have this discussion then. Okay, who's the better Spider-Man?
Who's better? Like, Spider-Man talking trash and Peter Parker, or just like overall?
Both. Like, what? Yeah, it's a dual role. That's like saying.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, it's like saying like Bruce Wayne and Batman, but they're
Right.
still two different people. Which once the mask comes on, that's a different guy.
You gotta be able to pull off both.
Garfield did it best for me.
Really?
I will still watch Amazing Spider-Man.
I did
2.
like those.
Like, if it comes on regular television, I will watch it. It's an amazing thing because he's a very cool, calm guy. Even if there's awkward points with Gwen Stacy and stuff, he's like, okay, I get it, I got it, and he backs off. But he talks really nice trash as Spider-Man. He makes it fun. So he was my favorite.
I don't think there's ever been a bad Spider-Man. Like, you can't say that for Batman,
Yeah. I don't
or
think so,
Superman. But
Yeah,
I don't
I
think.
agree.
I agree
liked
with
them
that.
all.
That's a fair.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire was always mine, but I don't know. Tom Holland's really catching up.
That's really good.
Yeah, I don't
good.
hate Tom Holland, but yeah.
It's just that
I just
don't
love
know.
how awkward he is. He's so awkward.
he
I love
is.
it.
But you know what I like about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man over the Tom Holland, and it's not Tom Holland's fault, but what I love about the Tobey Maguire one is he's kind of a self-made Spider-Man, where you kind of get the impression watching these movies that he'd still be running around in his pajamas if it wasn't for Tony Stark updating his suit and
That's
giving him
true.
this all
Right.
this. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So he's got this whole Tony Stark instead of the Uncle Ben.
But I really like Tony Stark. So
Yeah.
that's not a problem for me. But I do understand. You're right. You're not wrong.
Yeah. But there's no wrong answer because
No.
they're all great. Kev?
I think I'm going with, I mean, I like them all, but I think I'm going with Tobey Maguire as far as Spider-Man. I don't know that once those movies came out, that became like the benchmark for me for some reason. Maybe because
No
he was the
doubt.
first,
Mm-hmm.
and so he had the trilogy and all that, and I like the whole story. The webs actually come out of his wrists, kind of thing, So we got to see a little bit of that story. So it's like and he fought out like a lot of villains, different villains across the different movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he has a little bit of awkwardness, like kind of like what they call it in the Tobey Maguire movies, like a church pastor kind of leading the church camp, something like that. Look, awkwardness, yeah. So I mean, but you to your point, Danny, I like Tobey Maguire too, and how his character is developing. I haven't watched Andrew Garfield. I watched Andrew Garfield's movies,
He's
but
really
it's been
good.
a while. Yeah, I know he's good. It just never comes across. I have to intentionally watch it. It just never comes across my screen.
And that's fair.
And I'd like to. I thought they were
He's
pretty.
probably the funniest of the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield.
He's like the more slightly confident. Like, I guess like the best scene I would say that's a more defining part for him is like towards the end of the Spider-Man 2 when there's a little kid that tries to go up against the Rhino and he's making fun of him, but the little kid's in the Spider-Man suit.
Yeah.
And then he comes down and he's just like, hey, thanks, Spider-Man. Like, I got this one. Like, it's still humorous, but at the same time, it's like, thank you. I'm on it. So there's like behind the mask is like a completely different kid, but I admired his confidence in that. But all three are awesome in their own right.
I need to watch the Andrew Garfield ones in it because I feel bad because he came out after the Tobey Maguire stuff,
and that's fair.
So then after that, I was like, I don't understand why is this a different? What's going on here?
He got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
He did.
I got confused a little bit, and so I don't know if I ever gave him a fair shake.
Yeah,
so I'd be willing
You
to give him a
should
shake.
because he's really good.
Yeah. And Holland is like, he's cute, funny, but he's always apologizing. Like he's like, or he's hugging and like, thank you, like, and it's cute.
He's adorable. Yeah,
He totally is,
Yeah.
right? But it's still like that poor kid. I feel bad for him. Like if that kid wanted to click out and like punch Happy Hogan for like sleeping with Aunt May, I would blame him. Like that kid's got some patience. I'm just saying.
I don't blame Happy Hogan.
Well, we don't blame Happy Hogan, but still, like, he's like, yeah, let me come save you. Like, are you trying to save me because I'm Spider-Man or because you got to answer to my aunt? Like, which
Okay,
one?
so Marissa Tomei is my favorite Aunt May.
Wait, like,
Oh, for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
well, here's the thing: like Alyssa Milano to you is my Marissa Tomei.
Oh yeah, well, Marissa
Big
Tomei,
time.
yes.
I mean, she goes back to a different world.
that's
for me. Yeah,
wow.
I remember.
Yeah, now that's bringing it
yeah,
back.
that's bringing
Kevin.
it back. Yeah.
Ooh, Kevin brought it back.
And then you got to go Sally Field next as Aunt May,
yes.
I think. And then I don't remember
The ladies, I don't
the
know.
old, she had the Aunt May look down.
She definitely had the Aunt May look.
She had
but
the look.
We have gotten way off the rails.
We did.
We sure have.
It's okay.
That's okay.
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay,
All right, go for it.
Sarah, what you got, Rachel?
All right, so we're back to, just in case folks lost the lead here, we're back to our
And why would they?
Yeah.
and attractions.
Adding Audio-Animatronics. That's right. What you got?
Yeah. So I don't feel like mine is super creative, but that's okay. I think it would be successful. And also, Josh made me say, or like he gave me this idea initially and made me promise that I would give him a shout out. So
All right,
this is
Josh.
We already shouted
Yeah,
him
this
out.
is
We
Josh.
saw him.
And he brought you a drink.
I know he
So-
brought me a cocktail
Yes.
and he had the idea. So he's really killing it tonight.
Excellent.
And he kept the sun in the sky.
He did. keep
From
the sun in the
exploding,
sky.
yes.
And sun in the bed.
That's a good dad.
That's an
right
inside
there.
joke for all those listeners there. But
That's right.
so here's what I got. I think that there's not enough Mickey and Minnie in the rides at Walt Disney World.
Agreed.
In Disneyland,
yeah.
all of it. Not
Yeah.
enough Mickey and Minnie. And by Mickey and Minnie, I mean the Fab Five, that whole, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, Pluto, the whole deal.
Yes, more Pluto.
Chippendale, all of it.
Oh, I love
so
Chip. Oh,
I
yep.
think that one ride that really suffers from being a little bit boring is Living with the Land. And
Yeah.
I know this because when you get to the holidays and they add Christmas lights, the line is all of a sudden bananas to ride Living with the Land. But then all the rest of the year, no one cares about it. And so I think it needs something, right? It's not that people don't want to go on it. It's that it needs a little plussing. And the holidays gives it a little plussing. And that's when people want to go on it. So I think they should shut it down, keep most of it just the way it is. But you add Mickey and Minnie and all their friends as animatronics in like a farming agriculture story. And then it works with the restaurant that's there, Garden Grill.
Nice.
It's all like kind of part of the same ecosystem. The story is all like one thing. And they're farming, or they're teaching kids about farming and healthy eating. I think that would be a really great addition to that ride.
You know what? That's a cool idea, Rachel. Because what I like about that is you can have Mickey and he's pointing to like a sign or something they already have there. So that's not too much work to have that animatronic do. I like that.
I do too. I don't have a problem whatsoever with that. I would prefer them keeping Living with the Land and plussing it with some animatronic figures where, let's face it, it's kind of like a low-key ride. And I think kids would kind of dig that.
Shit, I'd be even happy with like robot farmers.
Robot farmers.
Yeah, I mean,
Robot farmers.
I mean, we got hydroponics and all that kind of stuff. I'm surprised there's like no Kuka robotic arm, like watering the plants or something.
I always
or,
want
I don't
a
know.
Kuka robotic arm doing something.
What if you had like some, I can't think of anybody at the moment, but like some person, or maybe even like a fake personality, right? That's like teaching Mickey about farming and healthy eating, growing
Bon
your own
appetit.
vegetables in your garden.
Okay.
Bonnie Appetit could come back and she
I
could
feel
teach
like
us
that would
about
work.
Bonnie Appetit from Kitchen Cabaret.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She was the host of Kitchen Cabaret.
Oh, I loved Kitchen Cabaret.
The other thing I love about it is that a lot of times Disney likes to pair a ride that has a height requirement with a ride nearby that doesn't, because families that have like kids of different sizes, that really helps them. So you got Soarin' right there, but then you could have Living with the Land that has no height requirement and appeals to young families. I think that would be really great. I think other people would ride it too. I do want to acknowledge that I do know there are some animatronics already in Living with the Land. So I know that I'm kind of going outside a little bit of the rules here, but the animatronics that are there are so minimal and they are lame, really lame. It's like one dog barking. I don't count that.
One buffalo standing.
Yeah,
That's a
I don't
buffalo
count that.
stance.
One
So
cock
I'm saying the
crowing.
things that are there are essentially mannequin trash and they need to go. And we should revamp it,
Wow.
put Mickey and Minnie and all their friends in there learning about healthy eating and growing your own garden. I think that would be super good.
I think we have a new term, mannequin trash.
Mannequin trash.
Nonsense on a napkin and mannequin trash.
Mannequin trash.
Love it.
You know, look, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, let's just redo it all together. Let's just go ahead and redo that ride all together, and you'll have like famous Disney farmers along the way. It's like your first scene, there's Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, and you're on Tatooine, and they're doing their farming, and they explain a little bit about farming.
Pre-Ash.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pre-Ash.
And then you get that guy from Moana, the one that the old dude that they forced to go in the
dude
yeah.
look like Obama.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, that's a fun idea. I don't mind that old idea.
Yeah.
Tropical farming.
And then,
I
farming.
don't know. I do like that having Mickey and friends though would bring in the restaurant. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Well, Mickey and them could be on the farm that's existing.
I think it's Mickey's place. So I mean, having him with anybody would work essentially.
You would have to be careful though, right? Because if Mickey and Chip and Dale and Pluto are meeting kids in the restaurant, then you can't really have Mickey down in the ride.
Well, you just close off the window.
I guess, but that's kind of fun in the the restaurant. They go around. I think so. You just have everybody else. You have Goofy down there. You have Minnie, and whatever. You got the other people down there.
The vantage point, you put it to where they can't see it from the restaurant.
Oh, that's true. You could do that too. You can still have Mickey in the ride, but just the places where you can't see from the restaurant.
Yeah,
There's so much you can't see. You really can only see like those first 2 or 3 scenes in the restaurant, and
the roof.
That's what I was going to say. It's like why?
And the roof. Yeah.
You can start off with Mickey and Minnie and them, but it's like, hey, see about how some of my other friends do farming where they are. And go like that.
And then you don't have to listen to the stupid dog barking throughout your whole meal.
It could be Pluto barking
by himself.
Or talking.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they haven't done something with that yet. Because it couldn't be more obvious that it needs a little extra. Because when they do it for Christmas, they put Christmas lights on. People can't wait to get on it. And then every other time of the year, it's a 5-minute wait because no one cares.
So that's it. That's all. I don't think I've ever seen it during the holidays. They just put lights.
Oh, it's pretty.
I've never seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I'm not going to compare it to the Osborne lights because that would be silly.
Blasphemy.
It is sort of in that idea where they're like putting lights all over the place. There's like a lot of Christmas lights all over. Yeah. And so when you go see it at night, which is crazy because then like during the whole day, the wait time is 5 minutes. And then as soon as the sun starts to go down, all of a sudden it's like an hour wait to get on Living with the Land. So wait, ridiculous.
What's the day experience? Is just a regular ride during the day?
Yeah, because they don't turn the lights on when it's like, because they have all the like greenhouse stuff. So it's bright in there.
I didn't know any of this.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Wow. And I've been there during the holidays.
Shoot. It's been a while since I've been
if you
there
go at
holidays,
night, they have a Christmas light display and they play Christmas music and it's cool. It's cool. It's worth going on.
It's worth going, but see, that's the thing. You weren't worried about it because it needed an animatronic. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah,
Thank you,
If they had that 5, yeah. No, I could see that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a ride that does need a little bit of improvement.
It needs some love.
Because even in that little room that shows like those little movies and stuff and whatever, it's just a big open barn like space. You could use some animatronics and stuff.
Well, like every time I see those movies, I think like those people in this movie might be like they might have filmed this prior to my birth.
Oh no, I guarantee you
that
did.
old.
Maybe ours too.
It feels very old.
Yeah, some of those people are dead.
No, I guarantee.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be 40. I think it's
Lord.
close.
Kevin's going to be 50 tomorrow.
They put it back in the
I
soil.
know.
Listeners, by the time you hear this show, Kevin will be 50.
I am the
Wish him a
father.
happy
That's
birthday.
right. That's right.
There you
Happy
go,
birthday,
buddy.
Kevin.
There you go.
birthday.
Yes. No, but you know those rooms remind me of like 80s Epcot. Whenever I go through those rooms, it's like, oh man, this takes me back a little bit. I remember those days.
Yeah. I just don't think the nostalgia speaks to everybody, Kevin.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely not.
Living with the Land is one of those rides that I ride, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of miss having the person on the boat.
I
with
do.
you.
I do too. Yeah.
I do miss that.
The automatic electronic narrator doesn't really feel the same. Yeah.
And it's not Living with the Land unless you experience it with Fish on Woo. I will say that.
Well, that's called Escape from the Land. If you're going with the chief, that's
called standing up on the land.
Yes, indeed. That's a whole new level. You're right.
Oh man.
All right, Kev, what you got?
Round it out, Kev.
All right, so I went with the Tomorrowland Speedway.
Oh boy.
Okay. Is there an animatronic shovel that just scoops it all up and throws it in the trash?
Yes. Man, look, if that attraction's gonna stay, which it looks like it will, because nothing has gotten rid of that damn thing, then let's do something with it.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So just to get this out of the way, my first piece that I'm going to present is that some people are like, oh, but it's the outdoors. I was like, poppycock. It doesn't matter.
Poppycock.
Balderall.
Balderdash.
Rubbish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Language.
Probably language.
So raw right now.
I got that reference. Yeah, look, outdoor AAs, man, this is no problem. Like, there's many theme parks. Even Disney has used outdoor animatronics. So this is a non-issue. So Universal kind of has the whole thing perfected as of right now, which I'll get to in just a second. But to go back to Disney's version of outdoor animatronics, we got animatronics in the Jungle Cruise. You had an Iguanodon and Discovery Riverboats back in the day when that thing was running and over in Animal Kingdom.
Doesn't Disneyland have like robot animatronics in their Speedway?
Do they?
I can't
I don't
remember.
think
It's
so.
been a while. I thought there was robots.
I've been on it somewhat recently. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm misremembering.
Disneyland.
Well, I know Walt Disney World
Disneyland-
definitely does it.
I thought they had robots for whatever reason on their version of whatever they call it. It's not the
Autopia.
Autopia. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Autopia.
It's
Yeah.
Autopia.
Yeah.
It actually, in fairness to that ride, it is Tomorrowland Speedway, but way better.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
It does not have animatronics that I remember though, but it is much better than Tomorrowland Speedway.
Maybe it's just like mannequin robots or something like that. I just
It
remember
could be.
robots
Yeah,
for whatever odd
be.
reason.
Like modern looking robots.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, you got the Mind seagulls. Yes. Those are animatronics. Kilimanjaro Safaris had a couple back when they had the big red, little red things. So they've had outdoor animatronics.
They killed an elephant.
Yeah, they killed an elephant. SeaWorld Australia has dinosaurs, like a land of dinosaurs all outside. So there's technology. And going back to Universal, Hagrid's Magical Creatures, Motorbike Adventures, got animatronics. And outdoors- Wheezy
from Slinky Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Wheezy.
Wheezy's outdoors.
You thought I was talking about the Jeffersons, right?
That's my brain went.
I thought you were talking about
Wheezy,
Lil
like
Wayne.
Wheezy.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, but look, there's a lot of proof where outdoor AAs could be just fine.
Okay.
And if you really wanted to, you could cover the entire freaking area with an outdoor pavilion type thing to make it look like Space Mountain right next door to kind of add to the Tomorrowland theme of it. Because it's not that big. They've reduced the footprint so much.
Why
they could
not?
literally cover it.
A starry sky above, that might actually add to the ambiance.
Oh, wow.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, so if you do
Fictional
that,
crowd kind of.
yeah, you cover that, then you got all kinds of options for like animatronics that you may want to use. But even if they didn't do that, you could still use animatronics on an outdoor attraction, as been proven with a lot of these other different theme parks. But yeah, a couple of ideas that I thought out that could work. You could have a Wreck-It Ralph retheme where Ralph builds a futuristic track in a mountain for Vanellope and her friends.
Sure.
So one of those things.
That death race thing?
Oh, Slaughter Race.
That's it.
Slaughter, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, that's
That is Candy Crush and his Slaughter Race. Is it Slaughter Race? Is that
Yeah, Slaughter Race is a
Slaughter
video
Race.
game.
Okay,
The second movie, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the video game.
All
Oh,
right.
that'd be kind of cool.
That's what I thought you were going. I was like,
Well, no,
damn.
I was thinking about when Ralph, I think it was in the second movie too, where Ralph built her that mountain, that little chocolate mountain, that new track when she was getting bored of her original races and stuff. And then Ralph went and built her a new track.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I love you, Ralph. Whatever. And so so that'd be cool. And look, I know these, one of these franchises is probably not going to be relevant to anybody, but you could also do like a Cars and Planes retheme. You could, if you covered it or whatever
Haven't
you
we
did.
done enough with cars?
Well, I mean, they're putting cars down, so you might as well put cars. I mean, I'm
makes
trying.
sense.
I'm trying to do anything to help this thing because there ain't nothing right now.
Cars make sense though, right here.
Cars would make sense, and the planes
gonna
thing,
make
you can have
sense.
Dusty Crawhopper flying overhead with words of encouragement. You can keep going.
Keep
It's
driving.
whatever. You can have Mater pop out and say, "Come on, I got you. Go get your head. Go truck the temperature."
What?
Lord knows there's not enough Mater in the Disney.
There's never
Good
enough
Lord.
Mater.
I do
I
like
mean, they're
Mater.
gonna put it right down the street, so you might as well just freaking do it. Just anything,
Give us a laugh at this.
anything,
There it
because
is.
this thing is not going away. It's not going to. It doesn't matter what happens to that area.
Nope.
That is, and I think Rachel, you said this is like your kid's favorite, one of their favorite rides, or somebody's favorite.
Well, I think
ride.
it used to be.
It is. I don't know if I'd say favorite ride, but I would say that like I have really fond memories of taking my kids on this ride and having them drive the car and us just like laughing so hard because they were so bad at it and it was like crazy. So I don't know what I'd say is their favorite ride, but I have really fond memories from that ride.
That's
Same.
fair enough.
Same.
I have the exact same thing because there was one time I remember Anna was just like, I'm going back to the room. I've had enough. And I'm like, Lil, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to stay in Disney. I'm like, all right, we're staying in Disney. And I've got a lot of great footage of her driving driving our car, and I would just take pictures as we were going.
Same with my daughter too.
There's only a few attractions I remember that happening on, and Tomorrowland Speedway was definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I had fond memories in Tomorrowland Speedway. And actually, if you check our Google group chat, I just sent a picture of a young me.
Oh, a young
and a Tomorrowland Speedway race car, ready to rock. I'm coming out of the gate.
Holy cow! Kevin looking fierce.
I'm ready to race, man. I'm ready to go.
Oh, geez, Kevin. You like Speed Racer.
How old are you here?
I don't remember. I
Gotta
was
be 10, huh? At least.
Yeah. I mean, if not, maybe around that age. Yeah, I was little.
Oh, man.
For sure. Yeah.
That's cute.
I was still wearing Husky.
The clothes, right? As we talk about?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, not the dog. Yeah.
Yeah, got that.
Yeah, I'm not Cruella.
Kev, you're still husky.
I am still Husky. I still wear Husky.
I was waiting for it. It's like, man, I just threw at that layup. What are you talking at? You know what? I wasn't sure what you were going to do for this, but I was like, man, this is impossible. But it would be so awesome if Disney were just to buy the rights to Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights and put that towards the sting.
Animatronic Texas and Walker.
Yeah, I would. I would just go just for that.
Texas and Walker Rangers Speedway.
I would go just for that. Oh man, he's yelling at you.
Go fast, Disney Dash. Get your balls back.
What you gonna do now?
It'd be really popular by that point. You'd have lines at the wazoo for that sucker.
I mean, it's a classic movie by now, but have Will Ferrell just act like a little cameo, him show up there like, I think you can do it because you're from America. You got to be number one. Oh man, all over that. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. So that's my attraction.
I like that. There's a lot you can do with that.
Speedway.
Yeah, man. Good job.
Might as well. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
Throw them all in there.
Look, dude, like I said it before that if the apocalypse happens, that'll be the one Disney attraction that survives because nobody seems to have any, like, they just want to keep that thing. And
It'd be crazy? You could do like a Laugh Olympics kind of thing with that. Like every other car actually has an animatronic Disney character.
You could have done a Tron motorcycle race if you closed it if you really wanted to.
Oh yeah, put some LED lights on the thing. That'd be trippy.
Just light it up and just go. Every kid gets their own little Tron light cycle.
To that music. Yeah, it needs something. But
you can see kids crash on the walls.
Yeah. Little pixels go everywhere.
I just sent y'all pictures of Lily on there.
On the Tomorrowland Speedway?
Yeah, in the Tomorrowland Speedway. Man, damn it, Kevin! Now you're making me like the Tomorrowland Speedway. Yeah,
man,
I was all like, "Get rid of it!" And everything. Now I'm realizing that there is a little heart
there. Yeah, there is. That's why I'm like, we could plus it up. We could zhuzh it up, as they say.
Oh my goodness,
for sure. I do have a lot of good memories. I was like, when I was younger, I wanted to ride that sucker. I was like, I get to drive a car. This is great.
Yeah, we can zhuzh it. I mean, listen, if Disney announced tomorrow, like Tomorrowland Speedway is closing, and it's closing in 2 months, I would not rush to get there one more time.
Yeah, probably not.
So, like, how much do I have fond memories, but I do feel like I've checked that box.
Here you go. All right, I'll tell you exactly how you fix Tomorrowland Speedway. You ready?
Go for it.
Very simple. Make it faster.
Yeah.
Even just by a mile.
Just by a skosh. Just a little bit faster. And like it's like a real go-kart, but you still have the track in front of you. If you do that, you're golden.
You're right.
Yeah, just a little more thrills. Yeah,
that's it. Like you don't even need the because you're going too fast to see the animatronics. But now, you're going so slow that you can hear the whole spiel as you slowly, except over the humongous roar. You have that, but.
You don't have to steer anymore in that thing, man.
Yeah, you really don't. And I mean, and if you're on, and the track is so far apart, I mean, if you're racing somebody, you're nowhere near to hitting them. So, I mean, props to them on safety for that. But yeah, a little speed would not hurt.
A little speed would not hurt either.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
I agree with that.
No, that's good. That's good.
I think, what I think would do with some good animatronics is Big Thunder Mountain.
I wonder if they're putting him in.
I think they're putting those visual effects in, but hopefully they'll put in some animatronics because that's one ride that I've never really quite understood the story on. I mean,
yeah.
It's not really, it's a runaway mine train, but that's about all you know about it.
The little swirly tub dude, I guess, is not really much of an animatronic.
No.
He's just kind of floating along.
Yeah. I mean, you got a goat. There you go.
Gotta love the goat.
Goat's okay. Yeah.
So I don't know any honorable mentions. I think really the Expedition Everest, that's the one.
That's the
right
most.
There.
Yeah,
and they don't have to add it; they just got to fix it. And I know this is a trope that's been in the Disney fan universe, but I mean, seriously, come on.
I'm gonna say we've been saying that since we
Honestly.
started this show easily. So
By this time, I'm over Disco Yeti. It's like I don't even notice Disco Yeti.
yeah,
Now, if I could, I want to give a shout out to a friend. Well, I guess a friend of ours. We know her. Her name's Becky. She's a bass player.
Yeah, I know Becky.
And I've been doing a show with her past couple weeks and stuff. And, we were on a gig together. And she's a big Disney fan. She used to work at the Disney store and all that kind of stuff. She's a cast member over there. And in between songs, I shot her this question because we were just talking about the podcast. It's like, what are y'all doing this week? I was like, oh, we're going to do the animatronic thing, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, she shoots me a message between. And I want to see what y'all think of this. She says, okay, I finally thought of one that could use updated AAs. Spaceship Earth. But imagine if instead of completely mute robots, every one of them was replaced with ones that actually speak their part of the story.
but how do you hear Judy Dench?
Do you want to hear Judy Dench?
I don't know. I just that was my joke there.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
yeah, I like
Okay.
that. I like that.
I don't know. I mean, I think Spaceship Earth is fine. I like the improvements they made last time when they added, where Leonardo da Vinci is painting the chapel. Like, it
Sissy
used to
Chapel?
look so broke before, and now it actually looks really cool.
Like he's doing, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a mannequin that had like one of those. It was just like flat.
One thing about the Spaceship Earth thing, that's the one that is the newspaper boy in it, right?
Yeah, he's facing the back now.
I always think like there would be a crazy like horror thing. Like if you wrote that thing on some horror night or something, he turns his face into like,
There's no face.
Yeah, I know he's
Or half of it's missing.
something crazy. Because it's like, why you turn your back? Like most newspaper people, to her credit, to Becky's credit, let him talk. Because like he never faces you. Like I'm just afraid he's got a horrible story to tell, He's got a lot of paper cuts or something,
Phantom of the newspaper.
Newspaper,
boys.
yeah. Extra, I've got new face.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Spaceship Earth the way it is. I like the narrative and watching people do their own thing. I would think it would be a little bit weird if all of a sudden, like, and here is where I burned down the library.
Do you smell that?
Yes.
Smells like victory.
Yeah, it's the rock. Do you smell that the rock has burned down the library? No, I don't know. Like, I think that it would just, I don't know. I don't want them to tell me what they're doing. I want them to just do it. And there's a narration as they're doing their thing. Like, like when you drive in and they're hunting the mastodon or whatever, like it'd be really weird if one of the hunters turned around like, and right now, what we're like the crocodile hunter, I'm going to go over there. Crikey! Yes.
If you put the sword right through this part of the body.
I think that would be weird.
Like, shh, we're hunting.
But we like Becky. We like Becky.
Yes,
so.
yes.
No, it's a cool idea. It's
Yeah.
a cool idea.
I think that's the idea.
And she
All
got
right.
to defend it. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So those are ideas of some attractions and a couple honorable mentions that we think would benefit from the addition of Audio-Animatronics. So we'd love to hear y'all's ideas, or maybe you want to compound on any of the ideas that we have presented, and we'd love to hear from you. And we're about to tell you how to get in touch with us in just a little bit. Well, y'all, we hope you enjoyed those ideas of adding audio animatronics to those various existing attractions. Look, if you want to learn more about us, the Magic Our Way Podcast, follow us on any social media platform. Also, if you want to get in touch with us, share your ideas on where you can add audio animatronics, you can do so through the following ways. First of all, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call or text us at 1-815-MOWEEKEND. That's 1-815
Mo Weekend.
669-4226. And of course, we have a couple people do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli does things with comics. What you got, sir?
That's right. As always, when you got there on the internet, you can always visit me at ivorycomics.com. You can see all the work I have, Project Geisha, Savages, and The Bottle Be Damned. All work is 48 pages, fully colored, and the only ad for them in each book is for the Magic Our Way podcast. So that's way more money than what you would get if you bought some books from the big two. So there you go. Get your money's worth right there. Also on the site, you can see blogs and interviews, and of course, a link to the Magic Our Way podcast. So you never miss a beat. You never miss an episode. You never miss where an animatronic should go if it could go there. So as always, appreciate the support, ivorycomics.com. On social media, on Facebook, you can find me there, Eli H. Ivory. And again, as long as you're a real person, it's a pleasure to meet you. But if you're a bot, I cannot greet you. I'm sorry. Like, look, I do not know how to find any cubium in Wakanda to save Shuri from, the Mandarin. Like, don't play me like that.
So don't add any audio animatronics to your inbox.
I mean, look, I got bots, not all, animatronics going on there.
I got
if you
you,
want to
got
send
you.
an animatronic to the house, we can put them in Disney and get paid. That's different. But as far as like asking what my credit score is, so you could help me and a loan that I didn't apply for and stuff, no thank
Yeah,
Mr. Bot.
there are two questions you want to ask Eli. Ivory. Two questions, Kevin. One, it would be what his credit score is, and the second would be where the prostate is. Anna and I learned that last night.
Oh,
Let's not discuss that. Let me finish. We can finish this.
Eli, why don't you tell me where you thought the prostate was?
So that's where the bots come from. Thank you, Danny.
and they invade your inbox.
No. Wait, why
Yeah,
don't you?
so again,
Oh, you don't want now you're shy.
Oh, we can do it off
No,
air. Yeah.
no,
We'll hear the story off
no,
air.
it's a crazy. I don't care. Like it was a crazy story, and we were talking about. Well, we were talking about somebody that had an issue with cancer,
Yes.
and it led to breast cancer, and then like prostate cancer, and then I was like, yeah, you should have that checked out, and I was like, yeah, I just don't know about getting that checked out on my balls, and it was like, wait a minute, that's not where your prostate is. And I was like, what you talking about? You got two choices on your balls. It got to be in one of them. So they're like, no, sir, that's not where the prostate is. So,
I'm about to say we're getting to that
Okay,
age,
can I ask
Eli.
a dumb question though?
about
yeah.
I have a dumb question.
Yeah,
so
That's not a
that
dumb
I
question.
thought the turn your head and cough thing was about prostate cancer. Is that not about prostate
I
cancer?
think it's about a hernia.
That's hernia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
see, I
is
got
it?
that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a
Wait, you
check
can
for
have a
hernias.
hernia down there and not know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hernia is a
Okay.
crazy
Because when
thing.
you
I
turn
don't
and
know how
cough, if you
people
have a
walk
hernia,
around
something
with
will
those
move.
things.
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah,
tell.
it's a whole.
That's a lot of equipment to work with. I don't really understand how you deal with that.
And yeah, we don't
Yeah,
get
skill and gentleness.
and we don't get a telethon. We don't get like WNBA players wearing the shoes for us. Not, and that's
Okay,
why I
well,
didn't
I'm
know
just
where the
saying.
prostate
Yes.
was because
Well, we're
No
getting at
athletes
the
wanted that.
age where we need to be responsible at that.
that's fair. And my friends
You need
looked
to
out
know.
for my health and they're like, sir,
Yeah.
we know you got tough times, but this is where the prostate is located. And luckily for me, I had color guard, so I had
Good.
already took care of that. But
Yeah, it's like
yes.
women got breast cancer. We got to deal with the
Yeah,
what's
colon
that?
guard.
That's your
but
colon.
Colon
That's your
guard.
colon, though. That's different.
I don't know.
That's
I just
different,
think it came out the prostate, so it got to be close. That's
I do know that your colon is not your prostate. I do know that.
There's a lot of work going on here. I mastered in art, not
This is a real bonus. for the
Tangent
listener.
number 2.
Yes, it
All
really is.
Tangent number
Eli,
2.
did you give us your contact info? I'm not sure we got your contact info for the comics yet.
Thank
1-800
you.
prostate. That's
the
the exact
new
amount of digits. Oddly enough.
boom.
PROSTATE.
Put that on Tomorrowland Speedway.
Yeah.
Yes. And
prostate.
Prostate. All right, go.
yes. So again, that's where you can find me on Facebook. And of course, also on Facebook, there's a Project Geisha fan page. So Facebook.com/Project Geisha. Also on Instagram, you can find it right there. See what you got, posting up the hearts, sending the likes. Love what you guys send out there. You have a 504, we can find out about that. Of course, on X, not prostate. You can find me at Hancock 1016. Well, I can't even get that out.
Because when you do, it's more like,
Yeah, I'm a 504. Woo! But yes, on X, you can find me at Hancock 10166, which, if you appreciate the madness, you just giving me the gladness. Thank you very much. And I'm going to check that prostate.
Go watch
Yes.
Fletch. You'll get an idea.
I remember
Yeah,
the flesh.
You got to get that check.
That's what happens.
Got to be. Gotta do
It's
it.
just that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole
All right.
conversation about that.
Look, so if you want to book a vacation to one of the theme parks or to make sure Eli, gets things checked, you can book it with Rachel. Rachel, how do they do this with you?
You're going to fly down
I would
to
be
see-
honored. I would be honored.
She'd
to
be
help
honored.
her
See, look at that.
Book a vacation. The best way to reach me is by email. And my email is Rachel, RACHEL @magicourway.com. You can also reach me by phone. That is text message, voicemail, all of those things. And my phone number is 978-432-2222. Wish, W-I-S-H. Those are the two easiest ways to contact me, but you can also find me on social media. I'm at Our Family Magic on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I can take private messages there. Those are all the best ways to reach me. But the reason why you should reach out is that it costs you absolutely nothing extra to book a trip with me. And a little piece of your vacation comes back to support this podcast community. I can help you as much or as little as you like. I remember when I started listening to these podcasts and I would hear travel agents, I'd be like, listen, my whole favorite part of this whole thing is booking the trips. Like, I don't want your help. And then I learned that the travel agent can literally just click book and then leave you alone. And then all I would be doing is supporting the podcast that I listen to every week by letting one person click book and then letting me do the rest of the things. So if that's you, if you're like, I love booking the trips, that's my favorite part, I can still help you and then stay out of it. But if you want all the help, if you want me to look at pricing, like Danny reached out to me today and he was like, hey, I need pricing. And I found some like ridiculous pricing on Bay Lake Tower this summer. If you want help with that kind of stuff, if you want advice, if you want touring plans, if you want me to send you all of my lightning lane information, all of that stuff, I can do that too.
Best
so
snacks.
like I've said,
Best
yeah.
drinks.
So like I've said, as much or as little as you like, I can tell you what cookies at Gideon's you should get and which ones are a waste of your money, right? I can go to that detail. But if you don't want that, I don't have to, right? So you let me know.
Oh, we need to cover
I'm
that at
honored
some
to help
point.
you.
I like that.
I could.
I'm curious.
There's a carrot cake cookie this month that I really
love
wish I
carrot
could
cookie.
try, but we're not going down there. I love carrot cake. And
Yeah.
so I bet it's delicious.
Yes. It
Oh, all right.
But yeah, anyway, so if you want to book a trip to any of the Disney destinations, Universal on both coasts, that's a hard thing to say. Universal on both coasts, cruise lines, Disney Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Virgin Voyages, major hotel brands around the world. That includes all of your major cities. My family's going on a trip to New York City in a few weeks so that I can learn about booking folks in New York City. So I'm happy to help with all of those kinds of things. It's not just Disney or Universal. I can do outside of that too. Please reach out. A little piece of your trip comes back to support this podcast community. And I do promise it costs you nothing extra. And sometimes I even save folks money. So please reach out.
All right, y'all. In addition, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast. And another option that only costs a minute or so of your time is to leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts and wherever you access our show, whether it is YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, etc. Any way which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are welcome on the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
All right. Nachos are on plates.
And yar. Bye.